Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kanye talk before, during, or formerly. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests. If you've missed any of my journalists from a few weeks ago, to Hollywood entertainers, to you name it, they're here. 640 consecutive weeks. Yes, definitely time passes when you're having fun. But today, as you can see, is Wednesday, because every Wednesday I have my beautiful co-host, Dr. Tiffanie Tate, for our special series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
And tell us, who are you? I haven't done this in a while. I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. And when you call me, it says, who are you and what do you want? So instead of introducing you, I'm going to let you introduce yourself today. Keep you on your toes. Who are you, Dr. Tiffanie, and what do you want?
Well, I am Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I would like to make the world better one book at a time. So I am a retired ObGyn veteran officer of the United States Navy, and I write poetry books for adults as well as children. And they are books that will enlighten, encourage, as well as entertain. And you can find my books on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. I have a page, www.drtiffanie, Tiffanie, Tate.com.
Welcome back to the studio, Dr. Tiffanie Tate. And we're going to start like we usually do with breakfast. With my co-host, we take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun, 8 things that we are grateful for outside of ourselves. Bottom of the bun, we're modeling for you before you go to bed, 8 things that you are grateful for inside of yourself. So, Dr. Tiffanie, take it away. What are you grateful for this morning?
I am grateful that Nathaniel has started his PhD program at Rutgers University, and we have moved him in, or we are still in the process of moving him in. As you can see, my background looks very different than usual. I am coming to you live from New Brunswick, New Jersey. And I am very excited, as all of his belongings were shipped here by 2 men in a truck. They are very affordable, and I'm very thankful for their services.
Give him my love. I am grateful that day 3, I am negative from COVID. If my bonus dad didn't have enough to deal with the stroke, he also got COVID. And in the family, only myself, my sister Debbie, and my dad have never had COVID. And so he got it. So now there's the 2 of us. But been testing, we're good. And we're just holding him. Prayers. He felt better yesterday, so hopefully today we'll be in that same trajectory. I'm glad we got vaccinated so that the symptoms for him are not as horrible. So, all right, that's what I'm grateful for. What are you grateful for? Let's do one more since we're doing combos.
Absolutely. I'm glad. Well, number one, I'm glad you're feeling better. And I am grateful that we were able to make it here safely and that my family is doing well. I know we had talked about my uncle being in the hospital and he is home from the hospital.
Yay, yay. Um, I am grateful that I get to live the way I do. I mean, we get our trash picked up, we have electricity, I have an air conditioner right here. I got, we have technology so I could watch the end of Umbrella Academy with my daughter who's back in San Francisco, and just the comforts that we are so fortunate to have in our country, and a hot shower this morning, a pool to do laps in, a doctor to see on Friday to find out what the heck is going on with my shoulder. I mean, we really do have it good in this country, and I hope we never ever forget that. So that's what I'm grateful for. Let's go to the bottom of the bun, which is what are you grateful for about yourself? And this is a little tougher for those of us who grew up being told that you're not all that, don't toot your own horn. Who do you think you are? And it's a little bit of unlearning to appreciate yourself. And the reason why I do this is because if we don't like ourselves, we have a tendency to go around looking for love in all the wrong places. Do you like me? Literally on social media, how many likes do I have? So I want you to exercise your muscle of self-care and self-love, extending Mental Health Monday Matters to every single day, because soothing yourself, loving yourself, I believe, is the foundation for good mental health. So what do you like about yourself, Dr. Tiffany?
I like the fact that my children and I both believe that I am a good mom because they wanted to say, "Well, Mom, what do you remember about me when I was a kid?" And I told them my favorite memory, and then I said, "Well, what do you think about me from your favorite memory of me when you were a child growing up?" And I was basically flabbergasted and floored because of the memories that they had. And they were so sweet and innocent. And they just made me think of, oh, these were very unique. And they just made me just overflow with the love of my children.
Aw, that is so beautiful. Um, I appreciate that I know how to celebrate birthdays. Thanks to my co-host here, we did a bang up job for the entire month of August. I appreciate that I know how to lose weight. Ramped up my healthier eating and not celebrating so much. So I've lost the weight that I gained during my birthday celebrations, and I appreciate my ability to eat healthy. I never in a million years thought I would say that I really enjoy salads. Never, never. And I actually really enjoy salads. So something wrong, but I like the wrong. What do you appreciate about yourself?
Yeah, I can say that you know Mom T and what she likes. And I actually grew into the healthy diets because she's like Captain Grease Woman. But I would say that I love the example that I set before. Again, everything right now is focused on my children because I'm spending so much time with them, and I believe that you lead by example. And because both of my parents had issues with drugs and alcohol. And I believe that you can break that chain and you can veer from that. And I believe that I have broken that chain and I have broken that cycle. And my children are not going to fall victim to that. So I'm thankful for not falling victim to that and breaking that chain and breaking that cycle by being a different example for my kids.
Fantastic. Yeah, I also had my kids for the weekend celebrating my birthday over no Labor Day. And I am so appreciative that I've broken it's the you owe me because I raised you, which is what I was told growing up. And, she did the best that she could. She was told that. But I am so appreciative that I broke that. And I think, we can close out. We talked about balanced parenting last week, that our only job is to do a little better than our parents.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can do that, we're great parents. And don't put the expectation that you have to be, completely 100% different, because, we're genetically tied, as well as they were our role models for whatever time they were. So go easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're not a perfect mom, but we just know that everybody does the best that they can, and that 88% of the time, I and Dr. Tiffany, or maybe 80%, we're a great mom, which is a wonderful thing to be able to say.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for joining us for breakfast this morning. I promise that if you continue this good life habit and this hashtag discipline, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us. And now I'm really excited about the topic today, because I have no idea. Well, Dr. Tiffany always has a reason why she picks a certain topics, and we're not gossiping, but I know that there's a story behind the topic, which is
loving liars. Yeah.
I told her that sounds like a title of a country western song, or it could be a new album, Loving Liars, or a name of a group. So, Dr. Tiffany, why did you pick that topic?
Well, I picked this topic for a few reasons. One, I had a conversation with one of my pool pals, and she was conflicted because she loved a liar, and she is in the process of divorcing that liar. And she knew that I had experience with loving a liar.
Okay.
Yes. And so she wanted to talk to me. So we sat in the jacuzzi and we talked for about 30, 45 minutes. We were in the water, out of the water, in the water, out of the water. And so we talked about it. And I was like, well, if I had the conversation with her, I was like, man, I know that other people definitely could probably benefit from some of the information that I disclosed to her and she struggled with. And while I talked to her, she was like, yes, this isn't the first time this had happened. So the backstory is she caught her husband cheating on her. The first time she forgave him. And now the second time she was like, okay, I don't think I can do this again. And what he would do is he would delete the text messages. But there's a feature on the iPhone where you can retrieve the deleted text messages. So for all you people out there who think you're getting away with something, you're not. You can retrieve those deleted text messages. So you're not getting away with anything, FYI. People know what you're doing. Whether or not they say something to you, they may just be plotting to get you when they're ready to get you. So I wanted to say, right now we are in a situation where whether it's your partner, whether it's your friend, or whether it's your children, sometimes people are like, oh, it's okay. And whether it's in politics, people are turning a blind eye to people who stretch the truth or omit the truth. And people are in love with lies. So I thought it would be a good idea to say, okay, let's delve into this. Because when we were a kid, we would say, oh, liar, liar, pants on fire, and we would joke about it. But right now, is it really a joking matter? Is it not a joking matter? There are little white lies. Those are the ones that are, oh, it's okay. Like, oh, honey, that looks cute when the outfit doesn't look cute. But then there are major lies. So I figured this would be a good idea or a good time to delve into this and to say, okay, well, what are the signs that someone is lying? What are the signs that someone is not lying, and how to address it? And what if you're the liar? What should you do to change those dynamics if you want to improve yourself?
All right. That is a great topic. That's what we're talking about today. If you have experience with liars, or if you want to self-identify and maybe, defend yourself or turn over a new leaf today, that's the topic. I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to take a quick break for news and traffic here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere. Doctors in the house. We'll be right back. Don't go away. In 2 and 2. Peace in, peace out.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show you're on. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. The number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News Radio, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, those of you who are watching and listening right now on my YouTube TV channel, welcome. And please do participate today in the Cashew Gallery. We do love it when people give us their 8 cents worth. And the topic today is loving liars. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Thanks for reminding me of that. Wow, that brings me back. I used to do that to my brother. So we're talking about it. Looking at, I want to distinguish first, because I can say that I do lie strategically. I am one of those who believes that sometimes, it is better not to tell there's never a reason to be brutally honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to tell you the truth if one isn't kind, if it's not necessary. So in those cases, I will not tell the truth. Mm-hmm. So I think that there are cases when people just don't need to know. I'm thinking of even like just because I don't like something that you're doing or saying or wearing, if that's something you need to do to, grow on your own journey, I'm not going to comment. And I recently, because of what I do, have a new rule that I will not even give you advice, because a lot of people used to come for advice, free advice a lot of the time, and then nothing worse than giving advice and spending an hour, and then they turn around and they don't follow it. So it's a waste of my time, waste of your time. So I say I will not give advice unless you're paying me. And that usually helps me keep my mouth shut. But I do believe that there are circumstances for lying, the little white lies. There is that fine line. However, as you were talking about, in those cases, lying about seeing other people when you're in a committed relationship, that's not okay. Lying about who you are, that imposter syndrome, that's not okay. Also, lying to yourself about how horrible you are, and that's not okay too. So those are my qualifications for lying.
hmm I think so because I mean, if you have like a lie of omission because you don't want to offend someone, I think there are certain situations and scenarios where it's best to keep your opinions to yourself. If someone says, "Hey, Tiffany, what do you think about X, Y, and Z?" and you are in a politically charged situation and you don't want to stir the pot, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I don't think it's the right time or tone or place to express my political opinions. So I'm going to say, "Oh, I don't think I have an opinion, even though I probably do." So some people might be like, "Oh, girl, you lying." I might be, but I don't think it's the right time to do that. So I think it's okay to use your judgment. But as you said before, we're probably in agreement on that scenario. But if you have a child who is repeatedly sneaking out or hanging out with friends you told them that they shouldn't hang out with, and they're not telling you the truth about it, I think that you should probably sit them down, talk with them, have some compassion, and address it with some empathy because I think you're going to get the best response from them. And try to start taking things away from them if they're of the proper age to do that, because you want to try to lead by example and try to break that so they don't grow into adult pathological liars. Now, dealing with adult pathological liars, whether they are a friend or you're in a romantic relationship, that's a
or
whole different story.
or running for president.
Yes.
I had to slip that in. Nemesis of Eden, welcome back to the show. It's been a New York, California minute. Hail, you beautiful beings. Hope you're doing well today. We are. Thank you. Lying is a gray area. Sometimes it can be okay, but I try to be honest about things these days. Perfectly summarizing what we've just been chatting about. So let's go to your case scenario, Dr. Tiffany, your friend who is now deciding that once, twice, three times a liar is too much. So second time cheating on her. And I have this question always around repeat offenders. So maybe not the second time. I'm glad to hear that she is deciding to leave. I'm much quicker, I'm one and done. If you do something the first time, not necessarily something to be proud of, but I know that this is part of my personality is time is my most valuable resource, non-renewable energy. If you don't keep a promise, which is to me, you book me in your calendar and then you cancel, of course, if it's a hospital or something like that. But if you've just got too many other things, then I'm not going to make time for you. So if someone cheats on me, that's a similar but obviously more potent experience. I'm done because I know myself. I can never look at you without remembering that. And I did that with my husband, and I'm grateful that he cheated because it was finally the thing that I could leave him for. I had tried to leave 6 times, but because I was hooked into bad treatment, because I grew up with it, I kept hoping that it would be different this time. And I'm grateful that the cheating happened so I could finally say, hasta la vista, baby. But hey, if your friend, she sounds like she has a pretty good head on her shoulders, right? Mm-hmm. If she thought that, he was sorry enough and was going to change, that it would change.
Mm-hmm. And I think the challenge is that when you love a player, you contemplate and reflect on all the good times, and you sometimes get fixated on the good times And when they apologize and they say, it's never going to happen again, and you want to believe them, and you say, okay, you said it's not going to happen again. You say you changed, but have they really changed? Are they going to go to therapy? What is it that they're going to do? How is it that they're going to show you that they've changed? How are they going to modify their behavior? And are you going to be right back where you belong, or where you were before? Are they going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again? And you don't belong in that situation. You don't deserve that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like there's an extreme, and I know you have some research there, but but if I talk about balance for a second, so there's one extreme where you don't feel worthy yourself of being respected and honored and loved, and therefore not cheated on, and because you don't feel good about yourself. I just spotlighted my interview with Marissa Peer, who was talking about how she met her husband. And right before she met her husband, one more time, she was attracted to a man, typical, ones that she goes with. It's just like that t-shirt. There could be 1,000 nice men in the room, and I am attracted to the ash hole, like for some reason. And that speaks to your underlying BS belief system about yourself, and you're not familiar. I love when she said that. I had no experience with a man who really adored me and treated me like I was incredible. I never had that experience. And so it made me uncomfortable. And so naturally I attracted and continued to have relationships with men who treated me like shiitake. So that's one extreme. The other extreme is when you're in a relationship and it takes two to tango, and some men, this is not all men, but some men that I've coached are so battered down because nothing they do is right. Nothing that they say is right. There's no safety in the home. There's no love in the home. And they're not strong enough to say, you know what, I'm not happy. And so what do? I'm not giving them an excuse, but I'm saying that in that extreme, this side, where, a man or a woman just feels so beat down that the only solution for them is to get it somewhere else, there's the other extreme. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about the balance, because we're like a minute and a half away from the solution side of the show. But Dr. Tiffany, what's the research around this?
Well, I looked up why do liars lie? Or how to tell when liars lie. That was the first thing. How to tell when liars lie. And so you can look for a change in their speech pattern, because a lot of times they either talk really fast, and there's an irregularity in their speech pattern. Sometimes they use non-congruent gestures. They don't want to say enough, so they kind of chop up their stories, or they say too much. They start rambling on and on. There's an unusual rise and fall in their vocal tone. There's a misdirection in their eyes. They don't want to look you in their eyes a lot. And they're often covering their eyes or covering their mouth, trying to muffle what they're trying to say. And there's a lot of excessive fidgeting. So some people are just anxious by nature. So if somebody has anxiety, give them a break. That's completely different. But that's something to consider if you're trying to figure out, are they lying to me? Mm-hmm. So another thing that I found was, if you are the liar, what should you do to stop lying? Number one, stop justifying the dishonesty. Understand why you lie. Consider the consequences of the lie. Put your relationship first. Remember that lies create stress. Practice being authentic. Consider how others feel and find alternatives to lying. So those were
Interesting.
some of the biggest things that I found. I have a lot of other information, but we'll talk about that as we continue to talk.
That sounds great. If you've just tuned in and wondering what's going on in the studio today, it is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. This consecutive week 644. This is show number 1222, and it is Wednesday. So you're seeing my beautiful co-host, and this is the special series Doctors in the House with Dr. Marissa and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
And we'll be right back after a break for news and sports. Keep it here. Don't go away. We'll be back in 2 and 2, or peace in and peace out.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere. Home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. And streaming at where you can watch and listen on my free subscribe YouTube TV channel that houses all 1,222 of my podcast shows. Welcome to the show. We are Wednesday, Doctors in the House with
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
I thought and Dr. Marissa, and she's streaming live from Rutgers?
New Jersey, yes, New Brunswick.
Noisy. And I'm here in sunny, hot Southern California. We're so glad that you're here. The topic today is loving liars. And we've been tearing that topic apart and looking at, are you a liar? Are you with a liar? Why would you be with a liar? And I actually found a test. Now, you usually have a test, but do you have a test?
No, let's do your test.
Awesome. I love it when I find something. This guy, Paul Ekman Group, is an expert in lying. So there's a test. Here we go. Are you a liar? To lie or not to lie? I like them already. I use that. We all lie sometimes. In his research on deception, Dr. Ekman found 9 common reasons why people lie. In which situations do you lie? How often do you resort to lying? Find out by seeing how you would respond to the scenarios below. 1, you accidentally dropped your new smartphone in the pool and it stopped working. Unfortunately, your insurance plan doesn't cover water damage, repairs, or replacements, leaving you stuck to pay out of pocket to fix it, hoping there's some way to avoid the fees. So when a sales representative asks what happened, you A, make up an elaborate story about how your phone mysteriously stopped functioning suddenly, shrug and say nothing. B, C, dance around the question without actually giving any actual explanations. D, tell the truth about the water damage and ask if they'll make an exception just this once. And on the count of 3, you would say 1, 2, 3, D. I figured. Number 2, you're hoping to get, I guess I can actually do that. You're hoping to get a scholarship for an expensive program and you're worried you won't be considered because you don't meet all of the qualifications listed. During the application process, you A, write a cover story addressing the gaps between your experience and prereqs to explain how you are an ideal candidate. B, fabricate some extra experience you don't actually have to strengthen your application. C, decide not to apply. There's no way you're going to get it. D, during the interview, slip the interviewer a $50 bill and wink. On the count of 3, which one would you do? 1, 2, 3. A. A?
A.
Okay, good. We're so far Two doctors in the house, same answer. Your child has been accused of plagiarizing a book report. When investigating, you find evidence that confirms, but worry about the repercussions it may have and don't want them suspended from school. When the principal calls to discuss cheating, you respond by A, playing dumb, claiming you have no idea what may have happened. B, vehemently denying the school's accusation, defending your child. C, acknowledging the evidence you found, sharing your disappointment. D, ignoring the principal's calls. You don't want to be involved in this mess. 1, 2, 3. C.
Kick them out.
4, you're at a Super Bowl party with friends, realize your designated driver is no longer sober enough to safely or legally operate a vehicle. When they're ready to leave, they look to you and ask if you've seen their keys. They're in your pocket, and you A, say you haven't seen them, pretending looking under cushions. B, reprimand them for even considering driving in their inebriated state. C, avoid the question altogether and distract them with their favorite song. And we're both singers. D, admit the keys are in your pocket and explain that you don't feel safe having them drive. 1, 2, 3. D.
C.
Oh, our first time differing. Okay. Well,
I share.
Pardon?
And I would call an Uber.
Okay. I'm going to do it because of me. You can actually pull this up. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the chat so you can open it up as well and what your score is. I am interested in seeing what score you would get. And Nemesis of Eden may also want to take this test. You already know the first part. And I picked it.
Let me tell you why. Because
why?
If they're drunk, they're not going to listen to you. They're at a party and they're going to fight and they're going to argue. And why argue with a drunk person?
Okay, you have a good point. But I still, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest on that one. You've been trying to strengthen your relationship with your boss all year. When she turns and asks you what you thought about the Dodgers game last night, she's a huge fan, but you never watch sports. You respond by nodding enthusiastically while saying nothing. B, pretending it's your favorite team. C, changing the topic as quickly as possible to avoid answering. D, admitting you didn't catch last night's game but offered to get tickets for next week's game. Ooh, I don't know if I like any of those. I guess C. What do you want?
Let's see.
What do you C?
I said say it again. I didn't hear it.
C is changing the topic as quickly as possible to avoid answering.
I would just
because she's asking you what you thought about the Dodgers game. I mean, I don't have to pretend it is my favorite team, so.
Well, I like the Dodgers. I would just say I didn't catch the game.
And offer to get tickets for next week's game?
Oh, no, I wouldn't get tickets.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of this is one of those, I used to design questionnaires, and this is called a double-barreled question, which is a poor design, Paul. Sorry, you didn't ask me for my opinion on this design. But anyways, okay, we're halfway through. 6, you're at a party. Oops, join the newsletter. You're at a party where when an acquaintance whose name you've since forgotten, oh my God, this is like so me, comes up to greet you, what do you do? A, tell them you've got to make an urgent call. You don't walk away. B, apologize for forgetting their name and ask them if they can remind you. C, take your best guess at their name. Hope it's right. D, address them as, hey, you, and strike up a conversation, hoping you'll overhear someone else use their name eventually. It's B and D for me.
I would apologize and say, can you remind me?
Okay, we'll go with that one. After the bathroom at a friend's house, the toilet suddenly begins to overflow uncontrollably, even though you weren't the cause of the malfunction. You're embarrassed by the whole situation, can't fix it yourself. What do you do now? A, blame it on the person who used the toilet before you. B, quietly exit the bathroom and plan to deny ever using it in the first place. C, find the host immediately to explain the situation. D, party's over, time to leave. 1, 2, 3.
Find the host.
C.
Yeah, because their house could get damaged. So
8. Although there has been times where I have to say I do B. I think about doing B, you know.
Nemesis said B. Nemesis said B.
What?
Nemesis of Eden said B.
Oh, he did? Okay. So thank you for being honest. I'm gonna change it to B because honestly, I probably do this more than the other one, if I'm being honest. And so 8, you've recently discovered that you and your partner are expecting a baby when your boss asked you to take over a coworker's project overseas for the next 7 months. You don't want to share the personal news yet, but already know you can't accept a request. So you, A, thank them for the opportunity, but decline, making up another reason about how it wouldn't work. This is such a good question. B, tell them you'll have to let them know later and avoid them, even though you know your answer won't change. C, remain non-committal, which response like maybe or that could work. D, agree to go, all the while planning to decline at a later date once you're ready to share your news. 1, 2, 3. C.
Yeah. I would agree with C.
Okay. And then 9, you're a mayor of a small town and a major company approaches you about the prospect of moving there. Oh, I just had a realization. They probably won't give us the answer unless I give an email. Approaches you about the prospect of moving their headquarters to your area. After hearing what this relocation process would entail, you know there will be significant negative impacts on town life, which constitutes your constituents will likely disapprove of. However, since you still believe in the greater good of this project, you schedule a town hall meeting in hopes of persuading the townspeople by A, giving them all the information you have, they have a right to know, by putting extra emphasis on the benefits in hopes it will be enough to sway them. B, telling them about the benefits and intentionally leaving out the downsides. C, telling them benefits and falsely assuring them that there's no downsides. D, presenting the exciting opportunity, all the while hoping no one asks you about the impacts it will have on the local community. 1, 2, 3, A.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Okay. So let's see what the results are. They didn't have anything on cheating, unfortunately. I was hoping for a question on cheating. Let's see. Are you a liar? Check how they came out. Your answers compared to other, let's see, punishment is defined. I'm not sure I understand the following. Oh, they're doing it by question. So there's not a, see if we're with the majority. How's that? Okay. Tell the truth. Yeah. So we're with the majority. Lying, cover letter, we're with the majority. So it looks like we're with the majority. I mean, the good news about that is I thought maybe, we're not unique for sure, that there's a lot of people. Oh, now this is an interesting one. The keys in the pocket. I was with the majority and I can't read. What is this? You haven't seen them. Oh, where's the singing one? Nope. You're in the very minority on that one. The singing one. Changing
to sing.
Huh?
I love to sing.
I know, that's true. So majority here. Forgetting their name. I'm in the majority. We are in the majority. Exit the bathroom. Oh, the majority says quietly exit the bathroom. Interesting. Yeah. The one quietly exit the bathroom is the minority here. Not the minority. It's the second. Non-committal, that didn't work. Okay, we're with the majority on that one. And well-intentioned, dangerous motive, giving them, look at the vast majority. Okay, so this tells me, I don't know what his sample size was, that people are more honest than I think, right? At least the people who took this test, right? Now I'm going to go and
I just sent you a Am I a Cheater quiz. I just texted it to you. You want me to
okay.
email it?
You can actually pull that up yourself, but I will do that. Let's see. I have to
It's
find you. I don't. Oh, on the phone, it's not going to work.
I just sent it to you from my phone.
Okay, it's not here.
It should be on your email.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Am I a cheater? Okay. I don't know. It's okay. It's not too long. I don't want to take all the time here. Oh, Nemesis was answering. What time? How much time do we have? Okay, we got enough time. Cool. Am I a cheater? But we're not cheaters.
No, we should be really good.
Yeah, but I wanna find a test that asks, should you take a cheater back? Is there a test on that? Here, you read it, and I'll go look for that.
Okay. The questions are, there's an extremely attractive person approaching you. He or she starts talking to you, then after a while, ask for your phone number. You're already in a relationship. You first don't give it, but ask for theirs. Say no thanks. I already have a phone number, my sweethearts. 3, give it to them and ask for theirs. It's a free world. So what do you do?
You're already in a relationship. You don't give it, but ask for theirs. Give it to them, ask for theirs. Say no, thank you. I already have a phone number, my sweethearts. I'd do the last one.
You give it to them. It's a free world. Number 2.
No. Oh, I'm saying the last one. Say no, thanks. I already have a phone number, my sweethearts.
So that's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So your sweetheart is out of town. Out of nowhere comes a celebrity of the opposite sex. He or she is breathtaking. What are you thinking? The first answer is, I would die to sleep with him or her. 2, oh my God. 3, hey, that's nice, but I got the better package. I would say, hey, I got the better package, because you never know. Number 3, you and your sweetie get into a fight. They leave and you're all by yourself. A friend of the opposite sex phones, they're single, and asks if you want to hang out. You first, don't go and hope my sweetheart and I can work things out. Go. Why should I be stuck by myself? Or 3, hang out with my friend and hope things will get interesting. I would not go. And I would just stay home and watch Netflix and hope that I can work it out with my man.
Yeah. You know what, Dr. Tiffany, I did find something that I think is better related to the topic. Because we're like not, we are definitely not in that category.
Okay, pull it up.
Here it is. This is a Business Insider article. 11 signs you should consider giving someone another chance after they cheat. This is interesting to me, because what are the criteria that you would actually take someone back? All right. So first is, you truly want to give them another chance. Do you want to stay with this person? Make sure you've asked that question before anything else. If the answer is no, don't bother. Yeah, that's like common sense. It wasn't a full-blown affair. This is interesting. There's no type of cheating that feels good, but finding out your partner was the drunken recipient of a coworker's smooch might not be as bad as finding out your partner met up with the coworker to hook up premeditated multiple times. Think of cheating as points on a spectrum, with flirting on one end and full-blown top secret affair on the other. A licensed mental health. If one-time kiss is unacceptable to you, that's perfectly valid as well. Yeah, I know people who, even the text, they haven't even done anything, but the fact that they are open to flirting on a phone text is enough of cheating. Another example is emotional affair. You haven't
Yeah.
even had physical anything, but if you're emotionally open to that relationship on it, and you can see that by words or actions, that
I
is
think an
just as bad.
emotional affair is worse because an emotional affair displays a certain level of intimacy, sometimes that's just as intimate as physical intimacy because it touches your heart, your mind, and it entails a certain level of commitment because sometimes physical intimacy is just a connection, you do it and it's over. But an emotional intimacy is talking and spending time with somebody, and you're connecting and talking about your problems, and you're buying stuff for someone, and you're giving money to someone, and you're sharing a piece of yourself with somebody. And so that level of intimacy that you're doing with somebody through text and talking is so detailed and in depth. It's just as significant as physical intimacy. So an emotional affair is pretty significant.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 1000%, because I've experienced that personally. If they don't want to talk about it, then don't take them back, because it's important to talk about what, not necessarily the blow by blow, literally, but to talk about like what led to it, I think is absolutely important. Um, they'll let you keep asking questions until you can fully trust them again. And here's one of those, and we may not get through all 11, but this is so important for people who are actually considering taking someone back who cheats. And this is the BS belief system that I advise, which is, if you are going to take someone back who you've caught them cheating, if you can never fully put that out of your mind and can never fully see them without that big C on their head, then don't take them back, because it's not fair to them. If they are truly showing all these signs and they're really remorseful and and you're willing to work at it, but you can't let it go and you bring it up every single time there's a disagreement, then let that person go, because it's doomed. That's my opinion and my advice. Yes, you have a reason to be angry. You have a reason to be pissed off. You have a reason to be righteously indignant. But darling, if you want to stay with that person, that energy for the rest of your union is not going to be a good union. It's not going to be a fun relationship. And that's my final word. Dr. Tiffany, what's your final word?
My final word is that if you are in love with a liar, only you know what you can tolerate. Nobody can tell you when you have had enough. Only you can decide it. And if it is with your child, you need to try to lead by example. Don't have them lie for you. Try to teach them that lying is wrong. If it is with your friends, try to approach them with compassion, sit them down and talk with them. If it is with your partner, try to address it immediately and try to work it out if that is what you want to do. If you find that you do not want to work it out, that is on you. And I wish you the best. And I hope that you can guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your spirit, and find a place where you are happy, because you deserve happiness, you deserve peace, and you deserve joy. And all of those things are within you. So don't let anyone disrupt that and disrupt your circle. And let other people bring that into your life, not take it from your life.
I
So
had a siren coming in, so I muted myself, which is not easy to do for a second there. But beautifully said, Dr. Tiffany. It all starts with self-love, If you are with someone and they've cheated more than twice, I would ask you to go and get some coaching, because obviously you don't feel you're in that what is it, marrying potential or being with a partner because you're in hope, and it's an unhealthy hope. Trust me, I know. And that's it for today's Doctors in the House with Dr. Marissa and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate. Thank you for your comment, Nemesis.
Oh, nice. There we go. And I popped the other 11 signs of whether you should take someone back or not that you've caught lying. I thought that was a very well balanced article from those that I covered. And I'm just so grateful that we have this opportunity to talk about things that can make you unhappy or happier, depending on your choices. Let's see. Go visit Dr. Tiffanie Tate at her website if you're looking for coaching, if you're looking for children's books, if you're looking for cooking, really good cooking. Her peach cobbler lives up to every positive thing that has been said. I am also totally, if you just use my assistant Google and put in Dr. Marissa or Asian Oprah, you will find me. Please free subscribe to my YouTube TV channel. That way you can support the show. If you'd like to be a sponsor of any of the shows or any of the special series, please do contact me, because you know this is where we don't talk about anything that you'll hear anywhere else that is focused on the problem and what's wrong with people, but we do want to highlight what's good about life, what's good about you. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Join me, Dr. Tiffany. Now go and have the best day ever. Thank you, Nemesis of Eden, for coming in. We'll see you.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.